Aam Aadmi Party Supremo and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal reportedly did not appear before the Enforcement Directorate in connection with the now scrapped Delhi liquor policy case. Delhi Chief Minister has written to the ED demanding the recall of its summons to him. He has called the summons vague, motivated and unsustainable in law. Chief Minister Kejriwal's party colleagues Manish Sisodia and Sanjay Singh are in judicial custody in the same case already. What is the solution? As we stand now, before we jump into this debate, BJP leader Manoj Tiwari recently stated how the flame is likely to reach Kejriwal too, and Aam Aadmi Party Minister Gopal Rai has lashed out at him in response and said how he knew this would happen beforehand. Let us listen in to this face-off.
आज उस टीम के एक तीसरे स्तंभ भी गिरफ्तार हुए हैं जिनका नाम है संजय सिंह। और ये आंच जो है ना, जो सत्येंद्र जैन से चली, मनीष सिसोदिया तक आई और आज संजय सिंह पर आई, मेरा मन कहता है कि ये आंच बहुत जल्दी अरविंद केजरीवाल के गिरेबान तक जाने वाली है।
राजनीतिक दुर्भावना की मंशा से अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को गिरफ्तार करने का षड्यंत्र किया है और इसकी स्पष्टता भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सांसद मनोज तिवारी जी के नोटिस आने से एक दिन पहले सार्वजनिक तौर पर यह ऐलान करना कि अरविंद केजरीवाल गिरफ्तार होंगे। कोई रोक नहीं सकता अरविंद केजरीवाल को गिरफ्तार होने से। सीबीआई ने पूछताछ के बुलाया, जवाब दिया अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने, कह रहे भाग रहे। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने सीबीआई के सारे सवालों का सुबह से शाम तक जवाब दिया था, लेकिन आपके षड्यंत्रों का भी जब यह समझ में आ रहा है कि यह एजेंसी का मसला नहीं है, यह भारतीय जनता पार्टी का षड्यंत्र है कि अरविंद केजरीवाल को आगामी विधानसभा चुनाव में कहीं जाने न दिया जाए, तो आप षड्यंत्र करोगे और सारे लोग उसको कानून मान करके फॉलो करते रहे।
All right, joining us is Advocate Anuja Kapoor, BJP spokesperson, Dr. Abhinandita Mathur, Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson, also joins us on the show, Advocate Ashwini Dubey, a constitutional expert and advocate on record of the Supreme Court, also with us on the show, Himanshu Bhatt, political analyst, also joining us to in fact give his point of view as to what's going on over here. Abhinandita, I'll come to you first. Why do you think Arvind Kejriwal is of the view that, whatever these summons are all about, they are not tenable or viable when it comes to the ambit of the law? Isn't that something which can be determined once the inquiry is concluded or once Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is questioned? Do you think that presumption that there is no guilt involved and this is all motivated could be perhaps more trouble for the Aam Aadmi Party convener?
Thanks, Vineet. I don't think we are very worried about troubles because we are constantly dealing with fabric troubles that come away. I don't think that is a problem. Seems politically motivated, and it is within his right to challenge that. So I don't think that that is very unusual, and the lawyers on the panel will also agree that it's very routine for people to respond to a summon in this manner. I don't think that is a problem. Reason why our troubles are actually increasing is not this, but the reason is because of the sheer success that we've had, despite being such a young party, in spite of the fact that so many of our big netas are now in prison. We are still going strong, and there is nothing that is, giving us a setback and nothing to hold on. Because like Mr. Kejriwal said today, it's not about one Mr. Kejriwal or one Aam Aadmi Party, but it is the idea of what we want to do with politics of this country, with governance in this country, the standards that we want to set, the schools that we want to build, the future of this country that we want to make. That sort of an ideology or thought cannot be killed, cannot be trapped, cannot be imprisoned. So I think that, as far as troubles on our individual leaders are concerned, with
Abhinandita, there seems to be a problem. There seems to be a problem with your network, Abhinandita. I request you to please switch to a different Wi-Fi or medium so that we can hear you clearly. Let me rope in Advocate Anuja Kapoor into this as well. Anuja, as far as I believe, that the ED is going to give Mr. Arvind Kejriwal 3 chances, 3 summons, and if he does not show up, the 4th time he will be arrested. Do you think this rebellion or this lack of cooperation is likely to make the storm worse for the Aam Aadmi Party?
I think this is need to be looked up by the Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal. This is not where I stand. They have to show to the trust of the votes which were being given to Arvind Kejriwal what he has done in past so many years, what he has done with the Delhi, what he has done with the Delhiites. The liquor policy case was introduced and then taken back. What were the reasons? And this whole trail which has been done, the money laundering case which has been shown, and the PMLA which we figure it out, how this has come up, there has to be when smoke only comes when there is a fire. And all our people who are connected to Arvind Kejriwal's cabinet are inside the jail, or the Rajya Sabha person is also inside the jail. How is this possible? You have to tell. And moreover, it's not the Bhajpa who is creating the trouble. The trouble is that the CBI and ED, they have created an investigation. They have done the investigation, and the investigation is done, and it is being put up in the court of law, in front of the Supreme Court, in front of any courts. They are the ones who are not giving the bails. They are the ones who are giving the bails. They are the ones who dismiss, dispose of, or acquittal a person in any kind of an investigation. So how come all of them are putting a finger on Bhajpa? How does a Bhajpa is doing anything? Now when they connect, they talk about, they forget that it is Modi ji, Modi, the Prime Minister of India, of Bharat. It is not, he is not the president of Bharatiya Janata Party. The Bharatiya Janata Party president is JP Nadda. So they have to figure this thing out. What are they talking? Are they going against the Bharat, India? Or what are they talking? Because this does not make sense anywhere. Moreover, it was being said already in the court of law when the ED had submitted in the apex court that they have an inclination of investigating up on as they could be the beneficiary of the bribes. That is when Supreme Court has also said that why don't you make up the party? It was not us. It was not the CBI or ED. It was the Supreme Court. They said that you make the party. So when now Arvind Kejriwal is the conveyor of Aam Aadmi Party, and he is the Delhi government CM whose cabinet ministers are in jail. So with fiduciary relationship, vicarious liabilities, this person has to answer the questions because you are at the helm of it. So how will things have gone under you? He has to answer these questions in the court. Now, when this happens, this is not the credibility which can be talked about with BJP anywhere. There are BJP MLA which has recently in West Bengal also was apprehended by a CBI. So if you say that it is only the people of opposition party, I'm sorry, recently there is a case. So CBI and ED is a constitutional post. It's doing its job. You have any problem, please approach EOW is related for this. You still have a problem, you have a right to do a lawyer of your own, and please go and talk about it in the courts and put up the problem. You think any BJP person is corrupt? Please put it ahead. You think PM is corrupt? You think Amit Shah ji is corrupt? Put it. You have all the rights. Just speaking it out here and not using the tools you have to go into legality. Do you think somewhere does it make sense? I feel it's just the vendetta politics which they want to do because they know that they have done corruption, and it is very sad. Arvind Kejriwal eloped and he did not come for the investigation. He evaded, he did not want to go. This could have cleared the stances which he keeps on saying that it is an Imandar Sarkar, and he could have shown it to the world. He could have shown it because he keeps saying, I am entrusted and their pravakta is also, the spokesperson there is also saying we have come for changing something. I do not see the change. I can only see the change is that first it was Congress who was very corrupt. Now they have crossed, Arvind Kejriwal ji has crossed that, and now they have become number one. So I would just say the congratulations to them, and their situation is being known everywhere around.
But Anuja,
They
the
have
Aam
not
Aadmi
only-
Party keeps contending that there is nothing that has been proved. There is no money trail, there are accusations. And why is it that only the Aam Aadmi Party is the one that's in the dock? Why aren't, any people from the BJP ever in, the dock when it comes to the Enforcement Directorate? And it's a case of political vendetta is what they allege.
I just gave you the answer for that. That recently, you all know West Bengal, in the MLA of BJP was being apprehended by CBI. So I don't have to further say because the recent example explains everything. Moreover, they talk about why Aam Aadmi Party. Aam Aadmi Party said we are non-corrupt and we come forward with a Lokpal bill and we come forward with a no corruption policy. But sorry to say again, it is not us. Please look into this. The Supreme Court or the courts have not given bail to you. Amanatullah Khan was given bail. So that also did not involve BJP. Rahul Gandhi ji, Sonia Gandhi ji, and many other people are still out on bail. So how come they say that it's us? When there is a case, there is a corruption, there is a money trail. This is the money trail we are looking into 1,500. That is what in the charge sheet is what is given by the ED. By the PMLA, that there is a corruption of rupees 1,500 crore in liquor policy, and they are able to create a trail of around 400 or so, and they have figured it out. Now they are talking about it. That is why they have put it forward that 338 crores trail on the prima facie.
All right,
of
let
it
me
is
also
being
rope in
looked
Ashwini Dubey into this conversation. Ashwini, is this a legal thin ice that Arvind Kejriwal is walking on? Because if he's saying that this is a part of an agenda and a vendetta, and there are no legal norms that will be established, why is he not showing up? Why is he, not talking to the Enforcement Directorate and getting this over with? It's not good to have, this kind of, a legal, problem on your shoulders if you're the Chief Minister of any state in any country.
Yeah, Vinit bhai, avoiding summons, avoiding process, avoiding giving reply to any investigating agency itself shows that you just don't want to reply what the ED wants to question. There are two admitted factors. Factor number one, the excise policy framed by the government of National Capital of Territory of Delhi into 2021, later withdrawn after the allegations of irregularities in implementation. Two is there is a nexus of private individuals, civil servants and deputy chief ministers and people involved sitting in the power as well as the political party, that whether there is any nexus with respect to the decision and whether the illegal money, whether money which is prohibited not to have been generated or taken under and which violative of the provisions of the PMLA. And third, whether it is a wrongful malicious prosecution, as Vinit bhai you said and as Arvind Kejriwal ji is saying, that wrongful and malicious prosecution, it is not the correct stage to say that he is being targeted as a vendetta politics, because whenever it comes to the questions legality, applicability of law and its enforcement, and whether it is by virtue of any wrongful or malicious prosecution, miscarriage of justice is being caused due to vendetta politics, that courts are there to look into it. So what the nation wants, what the courts wants, what the investigating agency wants, that a person sitting in the constitutional authority must answer the questions because the Supreme Court too have said that look, as of now you are not entitled for the bail because certain amount of money has been allegedly generated, and therefore that smears of the malfunctioning and also there are violations of PMLA. And so far as the powers of Enforcement Directorate is concerned, Enforcement Directorate has the powers conferred under the law to investigate people. People does not mean that the people not sitting in the constitutional authority. Conduct searches and raids and even arrest accused person under the provisions of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. But to some extent, Anandita Mathur is also right that summons have been issued. He has replied, but thrice or fourth, if he will not appear, then it will presume that he is not cooperating with the investigation. Not cooperating with the investigation means that you have a malicious intent in this matter, and that is what that subsequently the arrest may be made. That depends on the domain of the investigating agency. But beneath by the excise policy framed by the government of National Capital of Territory of Delhi smears of certain irregularities and corruption. Yes, Vinit Bhai.
All right. If Abhinandita is back with us, I'd like to open her again. Abhinandita, I hope your network is fine and we can get a response to what Anuja and Ashwini have said about this sensitive case for the Aam Aadmi Party. This is obviously going to be based and decided on what the law of the land is, so whatever we might say in our personal or political capacity, it's not going to have any echo with the courts or the investigative agencies.
Absolutely. That is right. And, there is, of course, a huge legal aspect to this, but it is also happening in a political environment or a political context. And which is why it becomes important for us to highlight that or point that out. As far as the legality of the matter is concerned, obviously we are cooperating with the courts, with the agencies, and that is not new. And as Advocate Dubey said, that we don't, that it's too early to even think that we are not cooperating with or evading any questions by the agency or the courts or anything. So, Mr. Kejriwal will certainly respond and cooperate as he has been doing. But I guess he needed more clarity, so that is not a problem. I would like to finish an earlier point that I was seeing, and which is that it is very interesting for us to see that how we are paying a very heavy price for actually challenging these big established political parties, because we have been winning hearts, we have been impacting people's lives and so on. And I think that, neither Congress nor the BJP or any other party, in fact, have any locus to actually discredit us on this excise policy. Because if you look at Karnataka policy framed by the BJP, if you look at Goa policy framed by the BJP, are actually quite extraordinary and quite forward in terms of, how they support the liquor market and mafia. And if you also look at the tragedies in Gujarat, so they're all hand in glove with liquor business. That is not unusual. And that is also something that the Honorable Court noted, that it is very routine, it is very normal for a government to create a framework, to create a policy that supports the market. So I think on several grounds, there are lots of ironies, there are lots of contradictions, and there are lots of gaps in this case. And unfortunately, as far as the political narrative is concerned, while the BJP may use everything in its power to suppress us, the political narrative is not working for them. There is really even a kid on the road can, explain to you what is going on and whether or not this is vendetta. So
you think this is vendetta? All right. Okay. Let me get a response from Mr. Himanshu Bhatt as well. Mr. Bhatt, is this vendetta, or do you think there's some truth, in fact, when it comes to this entire fiasco? Because like Abhinandita said, there are progressive governments in other states, some of them ruled by the BJP as well, where liquor policies have been changed and amended.
Yeah, policies have been changed and amended, but there has been no cases of money laundering. See, when I talk of it politically, established cases of money laundering, you mean? Yeah, established cases. I am not going to talk anything on legal terms. I am not an expert on that. I cannot do that. But what I see politically is, this is a self-destructive move which has been started by AAP itself. Why I am saying this is, they themselves say in legal terms, for 3 summons he can evade and then he has to appear. He is trying to build up a public perception. That is what I see here. Party is trying to build up a public perception that BJP is playing a vendetta politics on us. See, this is very, very clear. If you see the political upbringing or political coming up of Arvind Kejriwal, you will realize one thing. He has come to the helm of Delhi and, as a convener of Aam Aadmi Party on whom? What did he do? Everybody knows that. Anna Hazare Andolan. See, he actually projected him as an Andolan Jivi Rajkarani, if I use the Hindi term, because that is what they used. And he has this habit, trying to turn an adversity into benefit. But he doesn't know that BJP's top leadership has been doing that for years, to come to power. Politically, when I say this, I say it very, very consciously that he is on a self-destruction mode. He thinks he can get away with this with the public perception. He'll have so much of support that government will bow down. It's not going to happen. Because, simple fact, a common man like me and you understand one thing. When the Supreme Court refuses bail to your ministers for 6 months, people see something wrong. On top of that, when the top court says that why don't you make the beneficiary the party? See, this becomes very, very clear. So whatever they do, whatever they try, this political drama, I call this a political theatre has started now. It will go on for some time.
Okay, it will go
The
on.
idea basically is, 5 states elections are coming. You want to be in the limelight, and it's something like, I see to be number one opposition what you have to do now. And this is what is happening. And this victimhood in our country, fortunately or unfortunately, in this democracy, we have people who vote for this, people playing.
All right, sir. We've run out of time. This is obviously
what is
an ongoing matter, of one that is not only political in nature, but deeply legal as well. And like you rightly said, there are overlapping issues which both the sides need to consider.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.